Before I comment, I would just like to say to everybody down at Huntington Bank Field watching the game today, my peoples, Carla, Patrice, everybody get home safely. It's still snowing out there. First of all, I would like to say to everybody that watching the game today, I'm glad that everybody watched the game today. I watched it all the way. I watched it all the way to the end. And to me, it's like it was, again, first of all, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Shout out to Shedeur Sanders. The defense didn't play great. The run game, the run defense was horrible. You had Tony Pollard pretty much running for 2 scores. One was a 65-yarder. The other was a 32-yarder, something like that. They really didn't polish it up. Shedeur played pretty much lights out, damn near. Didn't have a perfect game. Maybe a couple overthrows, 1 interception, but the man put up 4 touchdowns, 3 in the air, 2 on the ground, 3 in the air, 1 on the ground. I mean, 4 touchdowns against a 1-18 wins you 80% of the time of the National Football League, for those who don't understand it. Now, for those who are hating on Shedeur right about now, either you are racist as hell, or you are just not watching or you just don't like his father. By the way, shout out to Prime for being at the game today. I know he wanted to see his son win, but it didn't happen today. Here's my take on the situation. First of all, special teams, again, when needed most, pretty much let us down. The block punt, you don't have a block punt in a tight game, period. You just don't have that. Bajorquez is the punter. He can only do so much. The special teams blocking was horrible. They went after it. This was and then, of course, the plays. First of all, the 2-point conversion on the first time. Kick the field goals. Put yourself in a winnable position. If you kick the field goals, you tie the game. And the way that the Titans was committing penalties, the Titans was committing so many penalties afterwards. The late hit on Tillman, the face mask, the roughing the passer, moving them downfield. It was like the Titans just damn near almost gave this game away to us. And the second thing, against any good team besides the Browns, Titans lose that game with committing all them penalties. Shedeur Sanders outplayed Cam Ward. Now, it wasn't garbage time. Even 31-17, that is a 2-score game with 5 minutes left. You don't put your rookie running back in a situation to run a 2-point conversion. You put it on the shoulders of your quarterback, and the job will get done. The first time that he fumbled the snap was too quick. Those things happen. You don't put him in that situation. That was the coach's call. And I'm going to put up a hashtag. Period. And I'm going to put it up. The hashtag, again, is Fire Stephanski. We seen what special teams played. I think Shador would have outplayed Brock Purdy last week. They had similar numbers, except for the special teams miscues and mistakes. Like I said, Bubba Vendrone should have been fired. The thing about it is, like, Andrew Berry had the whole, and I'm not saying that there was an improvement. Shador had a bog down in the second quarter. I think the Browns were playing too conservative, confused of either, like, listen, go for the kill. You got them down by, it's 17-14, put some more points on the board, shooting themselves in the foot with, holding and, illegal shifts and everything else like that. It was in the snow, in elements, in the northern circumstances that nobody could have played in. My problem with that is that the last two plays for the 2-point conversion, first of all, you kick the 2 field goals, you tie the game. The way the Titans were committing penalties and things of that nature, you go into overtime. At worst, you tie this game. At worst, you tie this game. If you give, like, here's the thing with me. You give your kid a chance to play the game. And I hate to use the word kid. I hate to use the word kid. But my whole take on it is that players are winning or trying to win games out there. I mean, Jerry Jeudy made up for his last outburst by catching that 65-yarder. Shador laid it out perfectly. The pass to Fannin, to Sampson. Sampson with the fumble, that hurt us. He would have, just kept his head up. It was a good play, good hit on the ball by the Titans defenders. Even though Myles Garrett didn't have a great game, he only had 1 sack, I think 1 or 2 tackles. The ground game for the Titans worked because they ran all over the defense, and Schwartz didn't have his guys prepared to play as far as the ground game, because you took it out. Like, they didn't want Cam Ward to lose the game for them. Now they figure they make enough plays on defense and then with the ground game, time of possession, as time of possession, that happens with you giving the Titans a little bit more time of possession. And then you keep the ball away from the offense. Despite all the ineptitude on the offense, Njoku got hurt. Cedric Tillman got hurt. Denzel Ward went out with an injury. You have a quarterback that can actually do it. Look at Stephanski's record developing quarterbacks or working with quarterbacks who have arm talent. Despite the Deshaun Watson thing, Mayfield, arm talent. Flacco, arm talent. Shador, arm talent. But the Browns wasted this season by starting Dylan Gabriel, and he can't do anything. And I don't care what his girlfriend says, whatever his fiance says, have her holler at me. Because you look as tall as he does. And you're not playing on an NFL field, lady. But go back to the way that he played. The scramble for the touchdown gave the Browns new life. The scramble for the touchdown, that 12-yard, it was 10 to 12-yard scramble, guys tearing at his jersey, ripping, part of his, the arm sleeve off. He still escapes, takes a hit in the end zone, gets up, scores. That's the type of quarterback that you want on your team. Are you seeing how many times that Josh Allen scrambled? You see how many times the great ones have done this. If they have if they had that all season, we probably would be in the hunt for the AFC North. You know, Baltimore lost, Pittsburgh won, even though they 7-6. Like I said, 9-8 would probably win this division. My problem with this whole thing, it's the coach's fault. Stephanski has to go. He's outthinking himself. Like, oh yeah, we're going to get, and then, you know, you don't give it to the rookie running back for the Wildcat. I hate the Wildcat. You know, that probably cost them the first touchdown by running a Wildcat. If they would have scored, instead of the field goal, if they would have scored the touchdown, you know, that's another 4 points. We win this game. I broke down every single quarter. It was the turnovers. It was the and of course special team. Like I said, Bubba Patron needs to be fired. Patron. Somebody was drinking Patron on the sidelines when they called that dang special teams block. Somebody was doing something stupid. And they 3-10. The season's over. They got 4 more games left. Hopefully Miles gets the sack record. That's probably the highlight. They got 4 more games to 4 more games in this season. Happy holidays, everybody. And I'm bummed as a Ohio fan. Ohio State lost to Indiana. Shout out to the Hoosiers. Shout out to, and then the Warriors without Steph Curry, you know, beat our Cavs up, you know, on a second off of back-to-back. So it's not been a good Ohio sports fan day for me, and it's fucking snowing. I'm pissed off, but I'll give a couple of shout outs to my judicial candidates. It's a scam likely call. First of all, Brett Horton for being sworn in. Kalila Lawson for being sworn in, Ensign Levin for being sworn in. Shout out to y'all. You know, y'all gonna make some great judges. Cheryl Wilshire will be sworn in after the new year. You know, enjoy your day. I'm gonna try to get some clean up and get some sleep. Oh, by the way, my guest Tuesday is Mayor of Maple Heights and at Blackwell. I'll let y'all later. But the Browns was browning, and we got a great franchise quarterback. We need an O-line that's going to stay healthy, and we need other wide receivers. We got our running backs. We got our tight ends. We need other wide receivers that can break, get open, and we need an O-line that can freaking block. All right? Peace, y'all.